My entitled sister smashed my new iPhone on Christmas. My sister is very entitled and has been this way ever since we were young. She would throw tantrums over tiny things like not being allowed to eat candy before dinner when she was as little as 5 or 6, or literally hit my parents in stores if they said they couldn't afford the expensive doll she wanted. At first, my parents would just give in to avoid problems, but this only enabled her behavior, and she became a total tyrant. By the time she was 7 or 8 years old, she was practically making all our family decisions. Holidays, dinners, outings, everything you can imagine. It was so weird seeing my parents bending over backward for whatever an elementary schooler demanded, but that was my life for a few years. I was only about 9 or 10 at the time, so I just went along with it. When my sister turned 11, my parents finally put their foot down and told her they were done giving her everything she wanted. They actually stuck to their word this time, which made my sister go absolutely berserk. She even destroyed my dad's jacket in protest. This just made my parents double down harder on getting her entitlement under control. All this turned into resentment toward me. She claimed I had more freedom than she did, never considering that maybe it was because I was 14 and she was 12, or because I didn't pull the crap she did. In her mind, I was just the golden child, and she started playing this narrative of being the neglected child. It got so bad that one day my parents got a call from school saying we were being investigated for child neglect because my sister told them our parents don't give her food and she's always hungry at school. The investigation ended quickly when they found zero evidence of neglect. My sister has kept up this woe is me attitude until now, and she's 14 years old. What led up to this Christmas blowout started when my parents asked what we wanted for gifts. I asked for a new phone since mine was pretty much dying and becoming increasingly unreliable. My sister just told them to surprise her and left it at that, which she often does. Nothing else about presents came up until a family dinner at the end of November. Out of nowhere, she started making these passive-aggressive jokes about how, just like always, my present was probably going to be more expensive because I'm the golden child and she's the black sheep. I asked her why she constantly needed to play the victim, and she shot back that it's because she is the victim. We finished eating in awkward silence because nobody wanted to start an argument. There's just no winning with Emily when she gets like this, especially during the holidays. Christmas morning finally came 2 days ago. We opened our presents, and I got a new iPhone 13 like I asked for, plus the usual small stuff like deodorant, socks, you know, the standard Christmas fillers. I was seriously happy with it and grateful to my parents. Then it was Emily's turn. She opened a small Gucci bag, Versace perfume, these shoes she'd been wanting forever, and this fancy makeup palette from a high-end brand. But with every single gift, she just rolled her eyes. Even with the shoes she'd been begging for, our parents got a half-hearted thanks before she stormed upstairs nearly in tears. I was completely confused about what her problem was. She came back down about an hour later with this smug look on her face, saying she did the math to prove her presents cost less than mine. She literally pulled out a calculator and showed us how she'd looked up all the retail prices of her stuff compared to my phone. According to her calculations, my present was about $200 more expensive than all of hers combined. Then, she had the audacity to demand my parents give her $200 in cash to make it fair. My parents told her she was being completely ridiculous, and there was absolutely no way they would do that. The tension in the room was unbearable. That's when she completely lost it. I had left my brand new phone sitting on the table because I was distracted by the argument, and honestly didn't think I needed to guard it in my own home. In her rage, Emily grabbed my phone and absolutely destroyed it by hurling it against the wall as hard as she could. It smashed on impact and fell to the ground in pieces. Total chaos erupted. Mom literally yanked Emily back by the shoulder as she was trying to leave the house to avoid facing any consequences. I picked up what was left of my phone and went upstairs with it, feeling completely gutted. I figured I'd let my parents handle it for now and have my own talk with her later. From upstairs, I heard Dad yell, and when Dad yells, everyone pays attention. He has a commanding presence that can be really intimidating when he's angry. I couldn't make out what they were saying after that since they lowered their voices, but about 10 minutes later, I heard Emily stomping to her room, sobbing dramatically. It actually hurt that she didn't even come to apologize to me. Mom came to my room later and told me not to bother looking up prices to fix the phone since they were going to handle this themselves. I had no idea what that meant, but I trusted them. 2 days later, my parents came into my room and handed me this huge wad of cash. When I asked what was going on, they explained they'd sold all of Emily's Christmas presents and were giving me the money to get my phone fixed. The repair would cost less than what they gave me, and they said I could keep whatever was left to use however I wanted. I asked how Emily took it, and they just said, the fact she's been staying at her friend's house for the past day and a half should tell you everything you need to know. I feel kind of bad, but honestly, after years of her entitled behavior and destroying my brand new phone on Christmas, maybe this is the wake-up call she needed. I'm getting my phone fixed tomorrow and probably putting the extra money towards some noise-canceling headphones. Something tells me things are going to be pretty tense when she finally comes home.